So I had a memory come up in my heart tonight, and I just kept thinking about it, and I felt like um, God wanted me to share it. So I'm not really prepared. I'm just kind of going to do this off the cuff. So uh, some of you will know me because I'm going to post this on Facebook. Um, that when my husband and I lived in Ireland, we lost our first child to miscarriage. It was a rather early miscarriage, and during the time when it looked like there were some signs of miscarriage, we were standing and we were believing for everything to be fine. We were standing on the word. We've had it settled in our heart for years that God's the giver of life, not the taker of life. John 10:10, that Jesus came to give life and life abundantly. And so we were standing, and it was it was challenging and it was difficult, and that was probably one of the most intense warfare times that my husband and I had been through up to that point. And so one night, I remember that I was upstairs in our house, and I was in just an extra room, and I remember, I don't know if I was praying or what exactly, but I was very distraught, upset, frustrated. I didn't know what else to do. I was at my wit's end. And I remember this thought that I had in my head, in my heart. Um, I had enough fear of the Lord that I couldn't say it out loud. But in my head, I was just so frustrated. And I remember saying, I hate you, God. That's what I said in my heart. And I was too scared to say it out loud, like I said. But I'll tell you what, as soon as I said that, this is what I heard immediately, just like that. And I knew that it was God. It was like an arrow to my heart. I said, I hate you, God, in my heart. I didn't really hate him. I was just frustrated. And immediately he said, even when you hate me, I still love you. And I'll tell you what, that just, that, like I said, it was like an arrow that pierced my heart, because God already knew what I was thinking anyway. But it just showed me the complete unconditional love of God and his mercy toward me. And it melted my heart. I mean, what am I going to do? I'm like saying the worst possible thing I can think of in my head, in my heart. And he just comes straight back at me with, even when you hate me, I still love you. And I just wanted to share that as an encouragement, and yeah, an encouragement to just be honest with God. Just, I think sometimes we feel like we have to put on this front, uh, and like say all the right things and do all the right things, but in our heart, we're just not being really honest, maybe with ourselves, maybe with God. But if we can just be honest with God and just be real with God, he can handle it. He can take it. Whatever we need to get off our chest to God, he can handle it. We don't have to like be a certain way or put on a certain appearance or performance with God, because he knows us inside and out. Even before a thought's in our head, he knows what's coming. And just read Psalm 103. I mean, it over and over again, it talks about the mercy and the loving kindness of God in Psalm 103. I went and and recorded down how many times it says mercy, how many times it says loving kindness one time, just because that's one of my favorite Psalms and it's just so powerful. Um, so be honest with God. Tell him what's going on in your heart. And he wants us to do that. Well, he already knows. So why do I need to say anything? Because there's something about coming clean with God and not feeling like, oh, well, I shouldn't feel that way, or I shouldn't have this thought, or I shouldn't this, or I shouldn't that. Just be honest with God. He wants us to come to him. And when we're truly open and honest with him, that's where healing can start. And so, yeah, be honest with God, be open with God, and also want to encourage you that God is so merciful and so gracious and so forgiving. It says that, I think it's in Romans, that even when we were still sinners, Christ died for us. So he's not waiting for us to just be all perfect and have it all together. He knows that we need him. So just go to him. He can take it. And that was a really challenging place that I was in, but God got me through it. And I'll tell you what, after that season of grief, God just revealed to me so much about his grace. I had such an amazing revelation of his grace and of not working and striving, but it's still something that I'm growing in, but of his grace, his mercy, of resting in him and not trying to make something happen in my own strength. And also, just a final thing, if you've lost a child to miscarriage, or even like if you've aborted a child, just know that there is forgiveness, and that you'll get to see that child one day again if you know him, if you've given your life to him. Um, Trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to add to that. I guess that's it. Um, just know that you can be real with God, and he wants you to be real with him. And then invite the Holy Spirit, invite God in to help you. The Bible talks about how the Holy Spirit is our helper. And he wants to help us. He wants to lead us and guide us into all truth. So if you're not a believer, if you don't believe in Jesus, cry out to God and say, Jesus, help me, save me. I give my life to you. But if you are a believer, you have the Holy Spirit to help you. And he can help you work through whatever it is that you need help with. So I think I'll end it there. That's it.